Scotland managed to fight back to a 2-each draw with Georgia, with big Lawrence Shankland coming up with the goods late in the game. Scott McTominay also got a goal in that game, but he also scored off the pitch for me because he came out and absolutely buried the Georgians, and I totally agree with him. He says rolling around crying like babies is not football, and a lot of people agree with him. Georgia were a disgrace. That is not football. And you know what? I like McTominay. I know he gets a lot of slack at United, right? Oh, why is he here? It's all his fault. It's McTominay's fault and the Glazers. All those manx down there. The Mankey mob from Manchester greeting about Scott McTominay. Well, you know what the fact is, right? Maybe if Big Ten Hag utilised the guy, maybe United wouldn't be in a big mess. Huh? Never thought of that? Big Scotty Too Hotty down there. Then the worm. On the way to a Premier League title, potentially. But Georgia were a disgrace. They were a disgrace at Hampden. They were a disgrace yesterday. And you know what, right? The only thing of positive I will say about Georgia is they're actually not that bad. Like you look at Georgia and Cyprus and you think, two Diddy teams, you know, probably got the same bit of quality, but Georgia are much better than Cyprus, right? And it does take a few years for teams to build a bit of reputation. Like I think Albania are like quite a good team now, but you always just you look at Albania and you think mince, but they're not. And Georgia have got some good players, undeniable. You know, that guy plays for Napoli. I mean, he scored 2 goals. He is a great player, but is he a diver? Absolutely. You know, if we've got divers in our own team as well, every footballing team's got divers in the team. But the way Georgia were getting on, rolling about, I think it was Cal McGregor on the floor, and he put his hand up, and it touched the guy in the face, and he went down like he went shot. Patterson getting booked really early on for a tap on the shoulder. I mean, come on. What we doing, man? The Georgians were an absolute disgrace. We drew the game, but Scotland are kind of in party mode, man. And it was always going to be one of those games where you're not really that bothered what happens as long as Steve Clarke makes changes. But he didn't. He didn't make any changes. There was no review yesterday. I reviewed the game on my channel, but Shankland, right? Well, there's a few players to talk about, but Lawrence Shankland, right? He should absolutely be on the plane to Germany. Like, oh, but he plays in a lesser league than the championship in England. Lawrence Shankland, since the start of last season, has got 38 goals. I believe the next person highest in the squad's got 13 in terms of the forward positions. Now, maybe someone in the midfield's got more, right? But in terms of who's up the front of the top of the pitch that can actually stick the ball in the back of the net, he's got the most. And I just don't understand why Clarke brought him on in the 86th minute. Like, John Carver's given the, big Lawrence Shankland, he needs to do with Ryan Porteous did against Ukraine, grab his spot in the team and never look back. What is he supposed to do coming on with 4 minutes to go? I'll tell you what he did. He got a goal, right? He salvaged a draw for us, but why is Lyndon Dykes getting 86 minutes? Can someone honestly enlighten me why that is? Why is like Lewis Ferguson not starting the game? Now, he brought him on with 46 minutes to go, on the 46th minute, sorry, which is all good. But I just looked at it and I'm thinking, was yesterday not the time to change things around? Like bringing on the likes of Kenny McLean. I don't want to keep on burying Kenny McLean, but we know what these guys can do. And you know what, Clarke, I'm not saying he's never brought the youth through, because of course he has. That's why we've got so many good youthful players. It's like the fact he took Gilmore to the Euros the last time, but I think it was just the time to bring some of these players in, honestly. Like, I don't know, just bringing on Kenny McLean's a bit soul destroying. Like, Stuart Taylor. Stuart Armstrong again, like, does he really need to get brought on? I don't get it. You look at the lineup, man, there's so many players that didn't get brought on that I feel like could have been brought on. To be fair, like Josh Dodge, like Ben Doak should be in the squad. Like Jacob Brown, I'd like to see him start, and he started against France, didn't he? I just think Clarke got it all wrong, and I'm not even on about tactically, even though I don't think tactically was all right. I would just like to see a bit of fidelity in the team. Like in these 2 games, it should have been right. Let's give people chances to make a name for themselves, because there's not many games before the Euros. You've got to bear that in mind. And we know who's on the plane. We know who's guaranteed to be on that plane. I just think we should be giving guys like I think Lawrence Shankland should be starting for us. I do. And the fact that I don't even think he's ever been given a start by us. He might have started that game against San Marino about 4 years ago. I might be wrong, but let's be real. The guy's 28, and he does, no matter where he's been, he's scored goals for fun. So why not just give him the opportunity? A run of games, because we know what Dykes has got. And I'm not saying, knock Dykes out into the cold, never to be seen again, or the same way with Adams, but you've got to let people bleed in again. Clarke, you've got to let that happen, and I don't know, he's not, and Clark's did a great job, I'm not denying that. But like I said, guys, I would just like to see some of these guys get a chance. But that's where we're going to leave this video. The Georgians were crybabies. But until next time, peace.